Hi everyone, welcome to week one of Make Code for Microbit. Over the next 5 weeks, we're going to learn how to code using block based coding. Okay, and we're going to use Make Code for Microbit to do so. So I'm going to go through what actually is coding with Make Code. Okay, so coding with Make Code, well, what is code first of all? Code is a language used by programs to tell a computer how to do something. So it's like a set of instructions that you give the computer in order for the computer to do something. The same way that you might follow a set of instructions if you were baking a delicious chocolate cake. And if you missed maybe two of the instructions, two of the important instructions, for example, to put in chocolate into the cake, it mightn't taste so delicious at the end. Okay, so that's the same thing. That's what coding is. Only it's for a computer to follow rather than you to follow in order to bake your cake. MakeCode uses two different coding languages. So it uses block based coding, and that's what we're going to be focusing on over the next 5 weeks to learn how to code. But it also uses advanced syntax code, okay? And it has two different versions of syntax code or syntax language available. It has JavaScript and it also has Python. Okay, so if you need a little bit of an extra challenge, toggle between JavaScript or Python and your block based code and just get a feel for what syntax code looks like if you like. Okay, so you can run your code in the Microbit simulator to see how easily we can program the microcontroller. So we're going to move on to that now in 1 second. But before we get started, what is a microbit? Well, this little thing here, that's what a microbit looks like. That's a physical microbit. Okay, so a physical microbit, that's the back of your microbit and the front of your microbit, and it's attached to a USB cable. Okay, so that you can plug it into your device. So that's a physical microbit. Now, for the next 5 weeks, we're going to be working on Make Code for Microbit, but we're not going to necessarily need a physical microbit because we have a virtual microbit on the Microbit platform, on the Make Code for Microbit platform. So we might not need the physical microbit. I just wanted to show you what the physical microbit looks like. And if you have physical microbits available to you, feel free to use them also. Okay, but you're going to be able to do absolutely everything using the virtual microbit. So don't be worried that you need to go and buy anything or you need any hardware. You don't need anything at all other than a device and some internet. Okay, so let's get started. What exactly is a microbit? So, what does the microbit entail of whether it's physical or virtual? Okay, well, the microbit is a tiny little microcontroller. So, it's really, really small, tiny, and it has loads and loads of different things built into it. So, it can do loads of different things. Okay, so you can see here it has two programmable buttons, button A and button B. It also has 25 red LED lights that you can program to light up and flash and do different things. It also has a USB connector. It has a built in Bluetooth and radio antenna. It has a built in compass, thermometer, accelerometer. It has loads and loads of different things. So it's a microcontroller with 25 red LED lights, two programmable buttons, button A and button B, and it has lots of special sensors that detect things such as maybe movement. So if you shake it or if you tilt it to the left or tilt it to the right, temperature, light level, and even an inbuilt compass. Okay, so it's a very special little thing, the microbit. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to take you through the Make Code for Microbit platform, show you where everything is, and then I'm going to give you some time to get comfortable with the platform yourselves before we move on to week two. Okay? Okay, so what we need to do is we need to go to Make Code for Microbit. So you need to type in Microsoft Make Code for Microbit into your web browser, and then you need to scroll down and click on Microsoft Make Code for Microbit. That's if you're using the web browser version. Okay, now the first thing that opens up is the home page. So this is the home page. This is what the home page looks like. There's loads of different tutorials on the home page that you can follow to do different things. There are some live coding sessions, games, radio games, how you can make your microbit into something fashionable, some music tutorials. There's loads and loads of different tutorials on the homepage that you can follow. Okay, so we're going to get started and we're going to go straight to the work area. So I'm going to click on New Project and I'm going to give my project a name. So I'm going to name my project Neve and click on create. And then we're going to go to the work area. So now the work area is opening up. Okay, it just takes a few minutes to open up fully. So now over on the left hand side, we can see our virtual microbit. Okay, so we've our virtual microbit here, with the two programmable buttons, A and B. We've got 25 red LED lights that you can program to light up or flash and do different things. Along the bottom, you've got pins, okay? And then on this toolbar underneath your microcontroller, you can do different things with this as well. So you can press stop to stop the simulator, refresh to restart the simulator. You can mute the audio and you can go full screen content. Okay, so you can make your microbit or your microcontroller go full screen by clicking this button here. And then whatever you have programmed it to do, it will show full screen. However, if there's any bugs or any errors in your code and you need to fix them by debugging, you will need to exit out of full screen and you will need to change them here in the workspace. Okay, so that's our microbit on the left hand side. In the middle here, we've got loads and loads of different categories. We've got basics, input, music, radio, LED, loops. There's loads of different categories, and each category has loads of blocks inside of it. And these are the blocks you're going to use to code and to build out your programs. Okay, so over here on the right hand side, you can see this is the work area or workspace. And this is where you're going to build out your programs. This is where you're going to drag your blocks and drop them and connect them to your input blocks or connect them to your program. Okay, so this is where all the hard work happens. Okay, so you've got two blocks at the moment already in our workspace. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to demonstrate how to delete a block. So in order to delete a block, you click on it and you can see it's after highlighting around the block in yellow now. So I've clicked on it, I'm going to grab it and I'm going to drag it over towards the middle area where the categories or the different sections are. And then you can see a purple bin appears. I'm going to just let go of that block and it's going to get recycled back into the category which it came from so that we can use it later on if we need it. Okay? And I'm going to do the very same with my on start block. Drag it over. I can see the bin has appeared and just let it go. Okay? So now I've no blocks in my workspace. So I'm going to take out one block. I'm going to take out an input block. I'm going to take out on button A pressed. Okay, I'm going to take out on button A pressed and I am going to take out a number and I'm going to bring my number in here and connect it. Okay, that looks good now because I know that my inputs are pink because I can see the color pink on my on button A pressed, and I know I found that in the input section. And I know that my basic section is blue and my show number block is blue. However, if I didn't connect it properly and it looked like this, so if I dragged it out here and it looked like this, and I know this should be blue because I got it in the basic section. However, it's after turning grey and yellow on me. That means there's something wrong. There's a bug in my code and I need to debug. I need to fix the bug in order for it to work. So we're going to connect it back up to on button A pressed so that it changes back to its nice blue color and we know there's no more bugs in our program. So we have to connect it back properly. So you can see it highlights there in yellow and it connects nicely to it. Okay, so now I'm going to click in and what number will I put in? I will put in number 11. Okay, so now if I press button A, it will show me the number 11. So let me try it out. I'm going to go full screen. I'm going to press A and it will show me the number 11. Okay, so just to recap on what we've covered so far today on the Make Code for Microbit platform, we've got our microcontroller on the left hand side. We've got our categories down the middle, and they're all color coded. So we've noticed that ourselves. They're all color coded. So if I'm looking for something from the basic section, it's going to be this blue color. If I'm looking for something from the input section, it's going to be this color. Or if I don't know where, Neve, so if I pull out something and you don't know where I got it, just look at what color it is and then go through the different categories and see if it's red or see if it's purple, and then you'll be able to know where I got that block so that you can do the same yourself. Okay, and there's some more blocks down here in the advanced section that we will come to later on in the package. Okay, so that's all I'm going to go through today. I want you to have a look around the Make Code for Microbit platform. I want you to start connecting some blocks, see if they connect properly or if they get thrown out and they go grey and yellow so that there's some sort of bug in your code. I want you to look through all the different categories and see what blocks are available. I want you to run your programs using the buttons if you can, and to stop and restart your simulator. And I want you to go back to the home page and have a look at the home page and see the different sections that are available to you on the home page. So, as I mentioned just before we got started, we're going to be block based coding. And if you want to challenge yourself a little bit further, you could click into the syntax code. So, you could click into JavaScript and see what showing the number 11 looks like in JavaScript. So this is JavaScript. This is what software engineers use to program computer programs. Okay, so this is the code that software engineers use. This is JavaScript. This is one type of code they use. Some software engineers might use Python. It's slightly different. So it's like learning a new language like French or Spanish or German. They're all going to be slightly different. Okay. However, we're going to be using blocks. So if you want to just stick to blocks, that's okay too. Okay, so thank you very much for watching in, and I am looking forward to seeing you in week 2 already.